dark side.
Hey guys, SWTOR NERD Gaming here. I know it's been a little bit. We're jumping back in. I had to take a little bit of a break from SWTOR, mainly because my computer decided that its time had come. It was a PC I built about 5 years ago, and it finally gave up the ghost. So I took 2 weeks off. I built a new PC that I've been planning on for a couple of years. I had some parts saved up. I finally built it. I will show you guys a quick clip down in the video below right now, just to show you guys what I built, as I'm fairly proud of it. But anyway, so we're going to jump back in here. Over the past couple of weeks, a couple of folks have reached out to me on Twitter. Some of you have reached out to me in the comments of my latest GSF play video, and some others. And they want to know specifically what the builds for 2 of my ships are. The Gunship and the Strike Fighter. So I'm going to show you guys the Gunship one tonight. I'm on a brand new alt here on PubSide Starforge. Feel free to add me in-game. Always down to fly and do other stuff in-game. So, without any further ado, we're going to go into our starfighter hangar here. I have done the GSF intro mission. As you can see, I have a little bit of requisition here. The ship we're going to be building today, to show you guys a good starting build for, it is on the pub side, it's known as the SGS-45 Quarrel. On the imp side, it's known as the Mangler. So what we're going to do, and I will show you guys at the end of the video, the crew members are going to be slightly different, everything else is going to be the same. I'll show you guys what components I use and why. So, moving on to the crew tab, I'm going to show you guys, so this is the default crew that you get with this ship. You have 4 slots: offensive, tactical, defensive, and engineering. These all add slight passives to your ship abilities and how it behaves. Your co-pilot has an active ability, which is going to be number 4 when you get into a match. And I'll show you guys a quick screenshot from a match in a little bit here to show you guys what it looks like in match. So, co-pilot has to be one of these 4. First thing we're going to go into is tactical. So this is your stock. What we're going to switch on pub side, we're going to switch to Lieutenant Iresso. The main reason being your active ability right here, Wingman. This has a cooldown of 1 minute, range of 3,000 meters, but it increases your accuracy by 20% for over 20 seconds. It also applies to 2 nearby allies, which is great, but we're running it on the gunship specifically to shoot those pesky little scouts and strike fighters that have evasion stacked, or other gunships. We're going to shoot them out of the sky with this. Gives us that little bit of boost. So we're going to put him as tactical, mainly so that we can put him as our co-pilot. I also picked him. You could also run Akavi Spar, because she also has Wingman, but I prefer to run Lieutenant Iresso. His silent running to passive increases your sensor dampening by 2,000 meters. Lets you sneak up on unaware targets a little faster. They don't see you on their sensors or their screen quite as early. And then sensor focus range increased by 3,500 meters. So it does the exact opposite for you, where you can proceed to see other enemies a little bit sooner than they would see you. So that's why I run him in the tactical slot. So moving back up, we now have him as co-pilot, which is great. Offensive stock, you're going to start out with B3G9. It's great. Hydro Spanner is a great ability if you're just starting out. It does give you a heal. It repairs your ship's hull for 308 over 6 seconds, so it is a lifesaver. Personally, I prefer something a little different for my offensive person. And we can't really use that active ability unless we switch him to co-pilot anyway. So we're looking at passives right now. You're gonna want to look at what his passives are. Secondary weapon reload cooldown times reduced by 12%. It mainly applies to missiles. Pinpointing is great. It does improve our accuracy. It's going to stack on top of that Wingman that we looked at for co-pilot. But if we switch to Quaisen, improved kill zones, so the circle that we can shoot in, and I'll show you this in the match in a little bit here, increased by 2 degrees. So it's a little bit bigger of a kill zone that we can shoot in with our slug gun, and then he also has that weapon accuracy increased by 6%. So we're going to run Quaisen Fess in the offensive slot. Moving down to defensive, you start out with this dude right here. Not even going to try to pronounce his name. His passives would be evasion increased by 5%, which is great. Quick recharge, so it makes your shields come back sooner after taking damage. I prefer this. I prefer more base power to shields, so I'll take a 10% power pool increased by 10%, and evasion increased by 5%. We're going to run Nadia Grell instead as defensive. And finally, in engineering, you start out with Ashy. I prefer to run Risha. So Ashley has power to blasters blaster power pool increased by 15%, and efficient maneuvers. The cost of using engine component abilities, maneuvers, and boosting is reduced by 13%. However, I prefer, like I said, to use Risha because I prefer a base boost as opposed to a regen ability. That is up to personal preference. Play around with it, see what you guys want, enjoy the most, but that's what I prefer. So her passives, engine power pool increased by 15%, power to blasters increased by 15%. So that's the crew you want. This is the part that's going to differ between Republic and Imp side. I will switch over in a little bit here. I will show you guys probably towards the end of the video on my Imperial main what crew members you want on that one. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go to components. So these are the stock components. I haven't expanded any of them yet. So the first one, you start out with light laser cannon, which is great. Personally, I prefer bursts for up close. When these are maxed out and paired with wingman, if a scout or strike fighter tackles you up close, if you can get him within 1,000 meters, this will one-shot or two-shot him depending on if you crit. So we're going to switch to burst laser cannon instead. Secondary weapons, your first one you're going to want is slug railgun. This thing does insane damage. As you can see, I have upgraded it a little bit, and you come stock with it. You can in this slug railgun. So, your first one, reduced recharge time, just reduces the time you want to use, the time that you have to use to charge your gun. So we've maxed it up right until our choices come up here. So every upgrade here has some branching choices towards the end. So the ones you want to take for this ship, you can choose between improved damage to hull on the left side. Railgun deals 6% more damage to hull, or consumes 10 less power per second. If you're not great at hitting your shots, 10 less power per second is great. It gives you a little bit more time to aim. Once you get practiced up a little bit, I like to take the improved damage to hull, so we're going to take that right now. Once you've unlocked one, you can also switch to the other at no extra cost, just like that. So I personally take the improved damage to hull, and then in the final tier, you can choose between 16% increased critical chance, which is going to crit and do extra damage when you do hit, or base damage increased by 10%. Same thing with my engine and power abilities in the crew section. Like I talked about, I do prefer to run increased base damage, just because I don't know if I'm going to crit, but I do know if I hit with this ability, the 10% increased damage, it's going to be 10% increased damage every time, as opposed to a possibility of a 16% crit. So we're going to take that instead. Ion Railgun, personally I level it up last. I stick to Slug possibly a lot more than I should. Ion Railgun strips shields, it's great against turrets, it does have an AoE, so if you're in a satellite match you can take out mines and everything with it, it's awesome for that. Personally I don't use it as much as I probably should, but I'll show you guys what I would run with it anyway, and then I'm going to spend the rest of my components upgrading some other things, but I'll show you guys the path to take. So the first three are self-explanatory. First one increases the accuracy and tracking, so that's obviously, you don't have any other choices. Same thing here, so you have the reduced charge time, and then this drains additional 10 units of energy. The other thing the ion gun does that I didn't mention, it slows targets. It drains their engine power, drains their shields. Maxed out, you can actually hit someone with it and basically put them dead in the air. So then you have two different choices. Hits do area damage. On the left side, railgun hit up to 4 enemies within 6,000 meters, doing 55% damage of normal. Then the other one, railgun hits arc up to 3 enemies within 5,000 meters, doing half damage and draining up to 10 engine and weapon power. So on the right side, it will be a slow, also AoE. Personally, I take the left side, and I use this in satellite matches to clear out mine nests. Next one, you can do railgun hits slow target speed by 40% for 8 seconds, or you can reduce their energy regeneration by 65% for 6 seconds. I personally take reactor disruption on the right side here, simply because I like to use this against bombers or ships that are trying to get away from me. I'm not going to put any points into that right now, because like I said, I don't use it as much. Shields, you will come default with this feedback shield right here. Not a great idea. Don't get used to it. As soon as you have any requisition at all, always switch to distortion field. What it's going to do is, when you activate it, it's got a cooldown of 30 seconds, and it lasts for, I believe, 15 to 20 seconds. I will double check that for you guys and let you know down below in the comments, but it will increase your evasion by 27% for 6 seconds. So this is going to, along with the evasion we picked in our crew members, this is going to be a lifesaver. When you're fighting another gunship, you need to pop this. Half the time he won't be able to hit you. This makes it so any any ship using blasters can't really hit you, and when we upgrade this, it's actually giving you a second missile lock break. Not an actual missile break, but a missile lock break, and I'll explain the difference in a little bit here, so I'll show you here. First upgrade increases evasion by an additional 8%, so then we have quite a bit of evasion. Next one, it reduces the ability cooldown, so we're going to take that. And then we have two choices here. You can either increase the duration of the evasion for 3 seconds, which would be great, but there's something much better here. On the right side, disable enemy missile lock is our choice that we're going to take. So distortion field breaks the missile lock of enemies currently attempting to target you. So if we take that one, as long as you pop this before they release the missile, so there's two tones when an enemy locks a missile on you. There's a lower pitched beeping that's not quite as aggressive sounding when they're locking the missile, and then it becomes very high pitched, very aggressive sounding when they launch the missile. And once you play GSF a couple matches, you'll definitely be able to hear that difference. If you pop this before they release the missile, it'll break the lock, and it's basically a free get out. It's a free get out of jail card is what I like to call it. So. Engines, you have a couple of different choices. You have barrel roll come stock, rotational thruster. So barrel roll puts you in a straight line, shoots you across the map. Also breaks missile locks and prevents future missile locks for 4 seconds. You have rotational thrusters, which is pretty much useless. All it does is it snaps your ship around where it's sitting. It doesn't break missile locks or anything. Don't take this. Interdiction drive also doesn't break missile locks. It increases your speed while reduces the speed and turning rate of enemies within 3,000 meters. This could be great against scouts, strike fighters up close, but again, it don't have a missile lock, so don't take it. Same thing, weapon power converter. If you were just worried about weapon power, you could steal engine power, put it towards your guns. Again, no missile lock though, so not great. So we're going to keep it on barrel roll. Take the first two. All they do is reduce the power cost of it. It is a bit expensive, and we're going to take that one right now. Ability cooldown time reduced by 10 seconds. That's important, so we're going to take that one. So in the top one here, ship's turning rate increased by 10 or ship's speed increased by 10%. Always take the turning rate because you're going to need it when you're dogfighting strike fighters and scouts up close. Okay, so now we're going to get into the minor components. These are little passive stat boosters. They don't do much, but they definitely help. So base, you're going to come with reinforced armor. It increases your ship's health. Sounds great. There is a better option. Take lightweight armor instead. It's going to boost your evasion. 3% for the initial and an additional 2% for each of the 3 upgrades. When you have that maxed out, you pair it with evasion in the crew members and the shield. No one's going to be able to hit you if you pop your shield. With a gun, that is. Magazine, you come base with regeneration extender. So what that does, I'll click on it here. So it increases your base regen rate of how fast. So basically how fast your gun regenerates. Personally, I run power pool extender. I'm okay with the base regeneration as it is. I like a little bit more power right up front. So I click the power pool extender up front. It gives you 8% more weapon power, which is what you use to power your slug gun. And then it increases it by an additional 4% for each of those upgrades. Reactor, we're going to scroll down here. I take large reactor. Extra shields is always great. When you add this on, 8% shield capacity plus an additional 4% for each upgrade. It's basically another layer of shields. It basically doubles the power of your shield. And then sensors, personally, I run dampening sensors. I don't have enough to purchase it right now, unfortunately, but I will switch to those. Gives you a little bit of stealth. You can sneak up on enemy pilots, satellites. If you haven't shot yet and they don't know where it's coming from, you can get a lot closer. Get within that 15,000 meters and often fire off a few shots before they even know it's hit them. So what I'll do, for example, is I'll get into a satellite match. I'll approach an enemy satellite and I'll have their 3 turrets knocked out with a slug gun before they even know where I am, and then I'll be damaging them as well. So always run the dampening sensors when you can. Cosmetics, of course, is simply cosmetics, so there is nothing to worry about there. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to switch over to my main on imp side. I'm going to show you guys the crew members on the Imperial version really quickly, and then we're going to try and get into a match, and I'm not going to focus too much on the objectives of the match. I just want to show you guys how the ship plays, some basic tips and tricks to hopefully get you guys enjoying the ship. It's one of my favorite ships to fly, and I hope you guys will enjoy it too. So I'm going to cut the video out here, and we'll see you guys on imp side in just a second, okay? Alrighty guys, welcome back. So here I am on my main on imp side. This is my main character, the one I play all the time. Also on Starforge, so feel free to add me up in game. always down to hang out, fly, and whatever. So anyways, like I promised, so we're going to show you guys really quickly on the Imperial version. So on the Imperial side, it's known as the GSS-3 Mangler. Having the pretty purple paint job and engines and everything, as you can see here. But so we're going to switch to the crew tab, and I'm going to show you guys the equivalent crew members that I use on Imperial side. So, co-pilot, I use Selena Rock for the wingman, and you can find her in tactical. Again, I run her for the wingman, so the accuracy boost. Offensive, I use Galt. I'm just trying him out right now for the rapid reload, but if you want the identical one to Republic side, switch to Jason Wilson. Pinpointing, improved kill zone. That's the same version we use on pub side, so switch to Jason Wilson if you want that. Tactical is the Selena Rock, like I said. Defensive, right now, power to shields, response turning, or response tuning, I should say. I always mispronounce that, but just set him to Vector. And then engineering, Andronikos Rebel for the power to blasters, power to engines boost. So that's what you run imp side. Selena Rock is your co-pilot, Jason Wilson as offensive, defensive, Vector, engineering, Andronikos Rebel. Otherwise, everything else plays the same. So I'm going to queue up for a match now. Once we get in, I'm just going to show you guys a couple tips and tricks, playstyle wise, just so we can show you guys how things work in GSF. So stay tuned and we'll see you there. Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can see, we have a pop here. So we're going to go in and I just want to show you guys some really quick tips and tricks just to get you started playing gunships. If you want more detailed guides, check out the SWTOR.com forums, the GSF subforum, as well as my GSF Let's Play series on YouTube. I will link both of those down in the comments below. And yeah, so let's go from there. So we have 51 seconds before the match starts, so we're going to do a really quick breakdown of our abilities. So I have my Mangler over here. So we have 1 through 4, which are active abilities. 1 will swap between our Slug and Ion Cannon. It's default set to Slug, and 1 will swap it to Ion. You can tell because Slug has an orange beam, Ion has a blue beam. I'll show you in the match here. 2 is our evasion boost, as well as our missile lock break. 3 is our barrel roll, which is our speed boost and actual missile lock. 4 is our wingman ability to increase accuracy. Left mouse button is your burst laser cannon for up close and personal defense, and right mouse button puts you into the Slug Cannon interface, which I will show you in a second here once you count down. So once you spawn in, when you're ready to spawn in, hit the ready button, and then there's 3 buttons you need to be aware of. So first one, F3, power to guns. It allows you to, F3 is power to engines. I don't know why I said that. So it allows you to fly a lot further and faster without burning as much engine power. So we use that. We're going to get a little closer to the A satellite here. We're going to cap it. So we're going to get on the objective here, and we're going to cap it. Now we're going to switch F1 power to guns, pop our wingman, and shoot at this bomber. He's coming in close here, and he's going to try and duck behind the satellite here. So we're going to chase him down, and I'm going to try and show you guys what we can do with the burst laser cannons up close and personal. As soon as I can get close enough to him to do so. He's flying right close around the satellite here. We're going to shoot that mine just so we don't take too much damage from it. Pop our evasion here. Actually, we're going to run a little bit and switch to the Slug Cannon here. Looks like our teammate got him down. So, alright, so F1, power to guns. F2, power to shields. F3, power to engines. Always be switching between them depending on your needs. So, I'm going to show you guys what the Slug Cannon looks like here in just a second. Getting close enough to see to use it here. F1, power to guns. Right click into the gun interface. Red means they're in range. Gray means they're out of range. 15,000 kilometers is your max range. Our teammate got the kill there. We're going to switch targets here. E will switch targets that are in the center of your console. E will select the target your cursor is closest to, like so.
We're hit.
So that was the missile lock tone. We just used 2 evasion to break that. Now we're going to wait till he launches, and then we use our barrel roll to break that. So you actually have basically 2 free missile breaks. If you're really close to dead like I am, you can actually come a little bit closer to the capital ship here. Hopefully we can get there. We might actually go down here, but yeah, we went down. Not a problem. So we're going to spawn back in here. If you get close enough to the capital ships in the satellite match, the capital ships will actually take the enemy pilot out for you, not in team deathmatch, however. So, we're in F3. We barrel roll just to get in closer here. I don't recommend that, but F1, power to guns, and we're going to look for a target. We're going to get a little bit closer. We want to hug that 15,000 meter range here. So you charge it until the bar at the top of the screen is full, and then you release it at a target. Again, we're going to break a missile lock here. So as you can see, the burst cannons do insane damage up close. I just took that bomber down to half health in 3 shots. So we're also taking some damage here. So we're going to reset, hide behind this asteroid for a little bit until we regen a little bit. And then we're going to come back into it here. So we're going to switch back to guns here, sneak in a little bit closer, and charge it up and wait for a shot. There's one. And again, like I said, E will put a cursor around the target closest to your cursor. So we got a kill there. The nice thing about a maxed out slug gun is if it crits, a lot of times it will instantly kill enemy pilots here. I think we just got hit by one ourselves right there, but we got a kill in the meantime. Alright, so we're going to spawn back in. The thing with satellite matches now, if you're in any ship other than a gunship, you want to be right on the satellites to get the cap. If you're not right on the satellites and another pilot is closer, he can actually take you out. Here's that gunship that killed us right here. So we're going to get close enough, hopefully, to hit him here. And we're going to really quickly aim and try and take him out, or at least spook him a little bit. And he's running, so we're just going to switch targets here.
That's a hit.
And that guy's running. He's going to come out from behind cover in his second here, though.
We have lost a satellite. Any last words?
And we just went down because we took a lot of damage there. The one thing with gunship too, you definitely have to watch your radar a little bit. So, spawn back in here.
Satellite captured.
We're really close right now. So we've got the 2 edge satellites, which is harder to hold. It's better to have one edge and the one in the center. But as long as we can hold this, we should do okay. We're going to head over towards C here just so we don't lose it because they're trying to retake it here. This bomber right here as well as some other ships heading in towards it, so. I'm going to try and cut some of them off.
You're going down.
Specifically this gunship right here. Charge to full, release, and you do insane damage if you land your shot. Someone's going to launch a missile here, so I'm going to barrel roll away towards our spawn. You want to barrel roll strategically if possible, but you distance yourself from the enemy pilots.
Good.
So. Got a guy coming in close here. We're going to rush him because we don't have a break. No, we just went down there, but we are right now, we're ahead. We're 360 to 326. We can still lose this if we're not careful. They might actually cap C in a second here, so we're actually going to head back towards B. So right out of spawn, I always go F3, power to engines right off the bat. And then we'll boost in here. We've got one scout on B right now. Try and get underneath him here, hopefully. Oh, we've got to take out these turrets, though.
Taking damage.
We're gonna get out of there. Set. Try and hit this guy a couple times with the burst cannons. That's how fast you can capture. That's how fast you can knock people out of the sky with the burst cannons at close range. Closer the better. Shoot this guy here. One more time. And he's down. Team member got the kill there, but. And this strike fighter, same thing. We're going to target him.
Won't recover from that anytime soon.
He's in behind cover. Switch targets here. The nice thing about gunship is you can switch targets really fast. Just about faster than any other ship. Switch to this scout right here. If we can get in close to him, we can hit him with the burst cannons. He's trying to fight us though. The team member just got him here, so we're going to reposition back a little bit.
We have satellite access.
Alright, we just capped A and B. This is a lot easier to hold. If they cap C now, it's not the end of the world. Just going to check the condition of A. I don't see any enemy pilots over there. We're going to get a little closer to the node. Now that we have it, we want to sit on it and prevent anyone from getting too close to it. So.
Won't recover from that
almost one-shot that guy there, but not quite. missed on that shot.
Starting to add
Just
up.
got the kill there,
Not
and we'll
bad.
switch immediately to this strike fighter right here. No, it's too close.
You're going down.
Hit him once. Well, we're gonna wait for our guns to regen for a little minute here, and we're gonna re-aim at him here.
Taking damage.
We're gonna pop evasion because the gunship just shot us, and we're gonna reset behind cover here. So always be watching your screen to see what's happening. Don't just pay attention to the center of the screen. Pay attention to your map, your radar, everything.
That's a hit.
Right, here's that gunship that was shooting at us, so we're gonna pop evasion so he can't hit us. And we're gonna hit him a couple times here, see if we can knock him out of the sky. He's trying to run. Just got behind cover. I should have released that a second earlier. We're gonna chase him down a little bit here, though. Just a little bit.
These guys see body parts.
And he's down. So this is a hyperspace beacon. If you see one of these, always try and kill it immediately because it's basically an advanced spawn point for the enemy team. And now they're trying to capture A here.
Won't recover from
So
that
we're going to
anytime
try and
soon.
shoot them from behind a little bit and prevent that as much as we possibly can. Running my guns pretty close to empty right now, which isn't great. But we'll see if we can get them to regen a little bit here and then take this
We
bomber
have lost
out.
a satellite.
They
That's a
just
hit.
captured A. Again, if we were playing any other class, we'd be a lot closer to the turret. But gunship is strongest at about 15,000 meters, so
These guys see body parts.
the further away from the action we are, the faster we can switch targets and take out the enemies, so. This strike fighter knows I'm here. He's gonna try
Not
and come in
good.
close. And he just took me out. We have a decent lead right now. We need to recapture B and possibly C, otherwise we can lose this though. So we'll wait for our respawn timer to kick down. As soon as it counts down, hit F3 just so we can boost back into the action here. So wait, there we go. We hit
We have
F3.
lost a satellite.
Hear the sound effect. We're gonna boost in. I hit barrel right out of spawn just so I can get back into the action. We need to cap something
Satellite
right away. So we just
captured.
captured B. We're gonna lose it if we're not careful though. So I'm gonna get in a little bit closer. Pop wingman for an accuracy boost. Hit that guy once. Wait for him to come out from behind cover, and one more shot should take him
You're
out. There we
going
go.
down.
We'll get a little bit closer to this strike fighter right here as well. We can take him out as well. Notice how I'm switching between engines and gun depending on what I'm using at the moment. So, popped evasion there as I was taking a little bit of damage. I may actually go down here if I'm not careful. I'm not regenerating power because someone used Slicer's Loop on me. You get debuffs if you pay attention to the lower left-hand side of the screen, right above your ship health. You'll see buffs and debuffs down there. So, we'll reset a little bit here. Take aim at this scout here.
Won't recover from that anytime soon. Any last words?
Just went down there. Okay, we really need to cap something here. Keep in mind, the GSF is a steep learning curve. Don't be discouraged if you get in and it takes a little while to get used to it. So,
Nice roll.
okay, we really need to cap something. So I'm gonna head towards A, help them cap A, and then we'll go from there. We need to cap one more to win, though. I believe it's gonna be close.
Satellite captured.
So power to guns, wingman, and as soon as he's out from behind cover, we're gonna reposition a little bit so we can get a better shot. There we go. Take him out there. They're trying to recap it here. They're playing super aggressive right now. It's gonna be tough to beat them.
Won't
But
recover from
we
that
can at least
anytime
stop
soon.
them from winning on a 3 cap. Wait for our guns to regen a little bit here. And I'll take a shot at this strike fighter. There's one. Wait for it to regen just over 50% before shooting again, because it will. Your guns do regen faster the closer to full they are. So it's a bit of a trade-off. They don't refill
Taking
very
damage.
quickly if you're not careful. So I'm gonna reset there just because we took a hit from another gunship. Make sure we're somewhat out of range before we reset here.
defense network is almost ours. Maintain control.
See if I can get a hit on this guy here. He's flying all over the place. Again, I'm pretty close to this guy. I'm under 10,000 meters away, which makes it harder to hit, so. Wait for our guns to regen a little bit here. We actually need to get in closer to this. I'm gonna break my rule here. We need to get in close, otherwise they're gonna get the cap on this turret here, so.
Good.
I'm gonna pop evasion while we're under here. It might go down right away. Yeah, we just died. We're not meant for close range dogfighting multiple targets, so.
We need those satellites.
They've just about passed us. We need to get back in there and get that cap back, at least that one.
Satellite defense is powering up. This battle is about to end.
Getting close here. They just got the kill. We'll reset here. It's gonna be a really close one. If we don't get this cap in the next couple minutes, yeah, we've lost at this point. But I hope you guys were able to see just sort of how Gunship plays. Get into some matches, play around with it. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. So it's definitely a lot of fun. So what did we do? We got 12 kills, 13 assists, 7 deaths, 75k damage. So pretty good. Our objectives, unfortunately, we didn't really play the objectives as much as we could have, but that's the thing with Gunship. You have to play a little bit further away from the objective. Any other class, definitely in a satellite match, get on those satellites to prevent those caps. Get those cap medals. Just do whatever you can. But again, Gunship, your strongest range is to be a little bit further away. So anyways, guys, just wanted to show you guys that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. That's a little bit of a guide on how to build your Gunship, how to play it, and we'll see you guys next time, either on the GSF Let's Play series. I'm also going to be doing a build guide for the Imperium Strike Fighter, which is my second favorite class to play, possibly my first favorite. I don't know. Excuse me. Between the two, which one I enjoy more. But anyways, guys, like I said, hope you guys enjoy, and we will see you guys next time on SWTOR NERD Gaming.
We would be honored if you would join us.